Good morning. It is Wednesday, so half the week is pretty much over, and I decided I'm going to come up here and do my makeup, and it's going to be a two-part makeup today. Let me explain. So I'm going to do my makeup, and we're going to do card 41. I've already posted the palettes I'm going to use. Then tonight, I'm going to come back, and I'm still going to have had my makeup on, and I am going to use as toppers and accents my fluorescent eyeshadow palette, Charm for You, and I'm going to experiment with my neon pigments under blue light. My lights up here are blue, and I'm experimenting, be doing it a couple of different times with UV or fluorescent makeup because our troupe is performing at Meow Wolf next Friday night, and there are black lights and blue light and lots of fluorescent paint there that glows in the dark, and so I'm going to be experimenting to see how this will look and what colors are better or more reactive than other colors. And then the night of the performance, I'll take whatever I decide is the best and looks most fluorescent and glow in the dark with me so that my troop mates can also accent their makeup. And I'm just cleaning off some brushes so I can get going on my face. But last night at dance, we started working on the different sections that we'll do. We are performing 6 different times over the course of the event. 10-minute spots with 20 minutes in between, because there's another belly dance troupe that will also be there doing fusion style. And so we're going to do like all of our props, but in different sections. So whether we do fast and sword, tambo and fast, basket and slow, skirt and fast, water pot, which is a choreography. I'm really excited. I've never performed it before. They did teach it to me the last couple of months. And I am getting to perform in water pot for the first time. I'm super excited. So we actually have little paper mache water pots that Tiffany made. So I'm like, yay, I get a water pot. It's the little things, when you're in a group and you haven't been there as long as some of the members that have been doing this, and then all of a sudden it's like, guess what? I was like, woohoo! It's really fun. So, and then, yeah, but we have different props that we use. So, like sword, basket, tambourine, of course, water pot is a prop, but it's a choreography, skirt, because we don't just wear the skirt. We use it as a prop. But, yep. I've got, we're wearing our club costume with a black choli and our suit bras. And then we'll use our black flares, a metal belt, which I need to find the metal belt I want to wear, and fringe. And I have turquoise fringe. I'm super excited. Finally, they found me some turquoise fringe at Scarborough Fair. And got that. And then we're also going to be doing, when we do skirt, we're going to be wearing our triple dips. So I got to pull those out of the closet, get my stuff ready for... okay. All right. Take my trash out. And then kind of like, how can I make my eyelashes fluorescent? I mean, I'm just going to... And I'm going to put fluorescent on my lips. So I'm going to like, everyone smile. It's going to be cool. It's going to be so fun. If y'all aren't busy, come see the belly dancers at Meow Wolf Friday night. The event starts at, I think, 6 is when they open the doors for the private event. And then actual dancing starts about 7. And it goes until like 10 o'clock at night. So, alrighty. Get my primer on and we'll get going. Okay. I was still enjoying West with Giraffes. They have made it to Tennessee now. They're driving from New York, and so they just made it through the Blue Ridge Mountains, which was a harrowing chapter to listen to with a switchback, because they were just going to like bypass the mountains, but apparently something happened on like the highway in 1938, so they had to go through a tunnel, and then all, mountain roads, their switchbacks and everything. So with Giraffes, that was scary sounding. So, but the injured giraffe they're really worried about her leg. I'm thinking she makes it to California, but we'll see. And the reporter is still following them. She wants to be the second female to have a photo essay published in Life magazine. So she's keeping up with them, following them in her green Packard. It's a pretty interesting book. I definitely would not have chosen this on my own. But like I said, I saw that the Bedford Public Library was doing book club, and that was the book that was chosen for their book club. Okay. And then Saturday, I may and may not do my makeup. I've got red hats. We're going to the Pickle Emporium in Fort Worth. Very casual. I don't know what I'm wearing yet. I think it's not supposed to be great weather, so. But, yeah. All right. We've got glow bracelets and glow tape. We're all excited about this because it's a kind of a different environment than we're used to for our performances. Now, our next performance will be in May up in Flower Mound. All right, let's get my contour on and then start with the rest of my face. So if anyone's new, or any of my new people here, this is Saint makeup. So everything I put on my face is in one palette. These are brightener highlights. I'm experimenting with liquid brightener. So, but the point of Saint makeup is that it's a cream makeup. It's color matched to your skin. And you put your makeup on in specific locations. So this is my contour area. This would be brightener or concealer, okay? And if I were not experimenting right now, I would be putting the brighter shade in my palette where I'm putting this, okay? But it's designed to be put on in one layer and then blended together. So you don't have layers and layers and layers of makeup on, like underpainting. Okay, so now I'm putting on my foundation shades, which are highlight. So we have highlight and we have brightener highlight. And then we have contours. They have a whole line of lip and cheek colors. They have a whole entire line of eyeshadows. The eyeshadows are super pigmented. They have a wide array of very neutral earth tone colors. They have some pops of color, highly pigmented eyeshadows. I just have like a lot of, I have every eyeshadow Saint has. So if that's something you're interested in seeing or have questions about that, comment, let me know. Also, if you're new here and you're watching, I do not send out text messages or reach out via private messenger trying to get you to buy the product. If you're interested in it, my feeling is that you will reach out to me and ask questions. I don't bug people. So I'm just not that kind of salesy girl. I wear it because I love it, And if other people want to love it, then great. They'll let me know. All right. So now that I've got this in all these different places, I take another brush. So I use about 4 brushes to do my makeup. I blend. So we're just going to start blending. I use different methods, like I'll stipple it in, I'll swirl. I do my lightest colors into my dark colors so that it doesn't muddy it and muddle. Because I want my contour to still show after I blended. I'm kind of get my brightener here around my eye, because we always want that brightness around our eye. So I stipple it first and then I blend. Okay. Alright, and we're going into the contour, and sometimes I go back and enhance my contour, but it's still basically one layer of makeup. But I've been pleasantly surprised to see how well the Jeffree Star color correctors that I'm using, it's actually what they are. It's got a line of them. Blend with the Saint makeup. There's no separation. The brightener that I'm using, the Diet Peach, doesn't like break down throughout the day. Hours after I've put my makeup on, you can still see a brightness around my eyes from the Diet Peach. So I've been really pleasantly surprised at how well Jeffree Star formula plays with the Saint. So I'm just trying to beef up my contour. Different days I put a little bit more so on. I definitely will be putting on a decent amount for performance. If y'all watch my performance videos where I'm getting ready for a performance, it's a lot more makeup, because I don't want my face to be like just this blob on top of my body in photographs, because our costuming is all so vibrant. I want my face to be vibrant also. And so performers that don't wear a good amount of makeup when they're on stage, they're doing themselves a disservice. So start putting on more makeup, especially foundation, something so that your face is not just this ghostly blob. And performance makeup is way more than some eyeliner and some mascara and some lip gloss. You need the whole face, full coverage makeup. It's just, I don't understand, people don't, when they're trying to look their best and dance their best, they don't put that effort in their face, in their makeup. And maybe it's because they don't know, they were never, they didn't grow up being in dance classes, or they weren't on drill team or some sort of competition team where they would automatically know this. And maybe their director doesn't have that kind of knowledge themselves, or they just don't care. Hey, Jen. But if you are any type of performer, you need to do like the full face, so when you perform, your pictures are outstanding, and like I said, your face doesn't look like a blob on top of your body, because your costuming is all super pretty. So obviously you want to finish that look off with, your face. All right. And I do a lot of performance get readies with me, so you can see what a typical performance face looks like for me. And I will say that the other ladies in the troupe that I'm in, they pretty much wear, I don't know if they wear about the same amount of makeup as I do, but they all put on like more than they do generally a joy in their everyday lives. Or if, you know, girls' night out or red hats or whatever other activities, you know, date night or whatever they're involved in, because they know we're going to be photographed and know there's going to be lights on the stage. We know we're not going to be like, you know, within 5-6 feet of our audience. So, but I've seen a lot of other troops or dancers, whether they're in a troupe or they're soloists, that don't do more than their everyday look. But yet, they're in these beautiful costumes, elaborate colors, or lots of sparkly, or, you know, so their costume, it's like, well, finish your look. You know, their look basically stops like right here. Because this is just everyday look. And they're not, unless they walk around in sparkly costumes every day of their lives, that's, you shouldn't make your performance looks every day like you would if you were going to Walmart, you know. All right, so that's my soapbox about performance makeup. All right, here we go. We're gonna get on my base. I'm just gonna go with my neutral base. I mean, I could use a colored base, but I don't want to today. And then we're gonna let a look. And then, like I said, I'll be back tonight after the sun has gone down, like it's a little bit dark, and play with my UV makeup and see what is going to work, what colors will work. My costuming is obviously turquoise fringe. My triple dip skirt is like turquoise. I think it's obviously turquoise is purple, and it might have some hot pink in it. I actually don't remember my triple dip skirt because we haven't worn them in so long. I know I have it. I think I've worn it once in 4 years. So my makeup is going to be on the purple, turquoise, maybe some orange and turquoise. I'm wearing my Day Glow dreads that are orange, like literally fluorescent orange and turquoise. So I'm trying to think what direction I'm going to go with my makeup. And I saw some Pinterest ideas because I Pinterest UV makeup ideas. And you know how like a lot of times I'll put like crystals around for a performance? Well, this one used UV makeup to like draw UV glow in the dark, you know, like, and I'm like, oh, I want to try that. So I am going to be experimenting tonight with some of my neon powders and even the eyeshadow, because they drew a bendy, and I don't know that I have any bendies that are gonna like glow in the dark. But if I can put like some rhinestones up there, maybe not necessarily one of my bendies, but and then like go around it with UV pigment and it glows, I'm like, yeah. But I'm definitely going to experiment with putting some of the UV powder on my lips to see if my lips will glow in the dark. So it's going to be a couple different times I'm going to experiment with this makeup, because I want to have a good idea of what is going to work the best, what colors are going to react the best, so that when we arrive next Friday night and other members of the troupe want to add any of the UV to their makeup so our faces or whatever else glows in the dark, I'll be able to say these are the best ones or whatever. I think there's one other lady in the troupe that has that Charm for You palette, and then I don't know that anybody has any neon pigment powders. So I usually share. I also have a mixing medium that can turn powders into like a liquid eyeliner type thing. So I am going to experiment with the MAC mixing medium and the pigment powders to see if that makes it easier to work with, to like draw the polka dots on my face, or draw the, I don't know what you would call them, the little shapes I saw. on that one. So I am going to be experimenting with that. So it's a lot of experimenting. Hey, Jacqueline, going on tonight under UV lights. But here's my cardigan. And I said I was doing Lure, which I'm going to focus on the teal row. Okay. And the Pricked palette, which I really do love this palette. Actually, there's not a Jeffree Star palette that I don't love, but I like it because it looks like a little vintage purse. Woo! And it will open. Here's my colors. It's an oranges, and there are 2 oranges. Like, y'all can see on there. All right, but here we go. I don't know what shape I'm gonna use. I don't know anything. I just know that this is what we're doing. All right, so let's see. Maybe I'll just do like. I mean, I could go with the teal across the lid, and then the orange above it. So that would be easy. All right, so let me get a little brush. Let me start my dark teal, which is 32 meters or 332 meters. Yeah. And I'm just going to start my division here. And I'm making sure to do this with my eye open so that I can get my teal where it'll show when my eyes open. All right. Really want that more up. We're just going to leave that there. And this eye. All right. This one looks a little flat right there. So we're gonna bring it up a little bit more. Okay. Now that I've got my basic shape, I'm gonna go in with a bigger brush and we're gonna start to smooth that line out. I've noticed that when I use super fine, flat, like this tiny little brush, and I'm drawing my shape, that original line, like this, seems to almost set in my makeup primer. And it's like, it sets so well that I can't always blend it out. So I try to get this like blended out quicker than I used to. And sometimes it's different brands that do it more than another. So we're kind of going a little bit over the top here today. I'm not leaving the house today. My husband's actually already home. He's come home the last 2 days around lunchtime. He is having to remove the decking from our balcony because it needs the subroof put back on, because over the years it's, you know, kind of leaked and stuff. So we're getting a new roof tomorrow, so they're going to fix it. So he had to take the decking off of it. So the railings are off of it. It's like, it is not a safe area right now. But it would be nice if we had new railings anyway. It was something that was on our to-do list. so we can enjoy the balcony off the second floor. Okay, kind of clean that up a little bit. I'll go back, put some, okay. Alrighty. Oh, alright, my daughter's snapping me. Alright, so now I'm going to go in with Sea Nymph and further blend. And I'm actually using a stippling brush, which I probably shouldn't have been, but it's what I picked up, and we're just going to go for it. Oh, there we go. So in the 50-50 method, I'm 50% on the shade I've already laid down, and I'm 50% on Naked Eye. So that really helps a blend, because you're not technically blending over the darker color, you're blending it into merging it with the lighter shade. So we have that, and then on a pretty fluffy brush, I'm going to pick up the lightest shade in my teal, which is actually blue, which is not on my card, but, and I'm just going to and this is Lost at Sea. But I have had this palette about 1.5 years, 2 years maybe, and I have hit pan in like 3 of the, and several of them are dimpled. I love this palette. I'm going to go back in and kind of beef up Sea Nymph. It looks pretty good, and then I'll go back again with nothing else on the brush, just whatever's left on it, and kind of clean that and buff that a little bit right there. So about the blending, if it looks like it's too straight, too clean of a line, that's when you want to go back and buff. And then if you think, okay, some of my original has blended too well, this is when you can go back with that original color and just try your best lightly to get that line, that there you go. Just so ever slightly. We still have our orange to do. All right. So we're going to do a packing brush for our orange. And I'm going to start with this really bold orange here. And then I think I'm going to go to this color. And then my lightest orange, maybe that peach color right there. So here we go. I'm going to pack on this darkest orange. And I'm literally like laying this color down. I'm not blending it in. I'm just packing it. Like I pack it into the brush. I don't scrub around in my palette. It's not a fluffy brush. I am literally like laying this brush down with purpose and picking up pigment to then come over here and pack it on, because I want there to be a punch of this color. All right, and I'm going to do the same thing over here. And if there's any fallout on your eyeshadow, this is a good way to pick it up when you're trying to pack. So you're picking up those little fallout and packing it on there. So then sometimes there's a spot that it's just not packing. Just keep trying. And you want to check to see if you're kind of in line. Then I'm going to use one of my regular fluffy brushes that I like, and I'm going to go into that second orange. Pick it up. And I'm packing it, but I'm not using a packing brush. I'm just bouncing that color in. I don't use a lot of sweeping motions with my eyeshadow. I will like kind of like this when I'm blending two shades together. But in general, I'm packing, I'm stippling, I'm bouncing my colors in. I just feel that for me personally, gets my eyeshadow where I want it. If you're only a 2-shade girly, then you can sweep and windshield wipe and whatever. I just don't like that method. So far, so good. Just making sure that I have enough like saturation. And I'm probably going to come down underneath my eye with my 333 meters, 332. All right, now my lightest shade is this like peachy color. And then tonight when I come back up here, I'll use, oh shoot, just dipped in the wrong color. I'll use the orange pigment powders. There's a couple blues. I want to kind of see what they'll do. I would love to use an orange waterline. So I am going to do an orange waterline with the teal underneath, but I'm not going to do it with Jeffree Star. Every time I've tried a waterline with Jeffree Star eye makeup, it doesn't burn and it doesn't cause my eyes to become red. It's just a weird, and that's because technically you're not supposed to use some of these pigments on your eyes, but they're eyeshadow, but it means they can stain. But every time I've done waterline with Jeffree Star, it's kind of been this like, until it kind of settles. So I'm going to do different orange. I have plenty of oranges. And then I'm going to go in with Sea Nymph. That's really pretty. And then I'm going to go in with Lost at Sea in there. Not going to do shimmer today. I'm not going to put on eyelashes today. I just wanted my base makeup done so when I come up here tonight, I can play around with my UV makeup. All right, there. That's in there. No, it goes this way. And I'll do, I think I have an orange. I know I have orange because Saint has an orange lip and cheek. But so does Jeffree Star. Alright, now I gotta find an orange for my waterline. Bright maybe? Is there an orange in here? Yep. Alright. So for my waterline, I'm gonna use a Beauty Bay Bright. And let me see, where's my little brush? Alright. I'm gonna use Calypso. Okay. Put that up. Knock all this off. So, knock my baking powder off because I set my face. Ugh. And we'll do blush. I have an orange, which will work just fine. All right. I didn't use the gray color, but this is going to look awful, but ooh, I have an idea. Where? No, hang on. We're going to do something. Bear with me. We're just going to play because I don't care. I'm not going anywhere else today. Okay. We're going to do a duochrome over the orange. Let's see what I find. All right, so. And this is Supreme Gloss formula. You know, y'all love, I love the liquid lipstick. Velour liquid lipstick. I love the Supreme Gloss. I also love... I have got to go. That was the Dayhab, and Addison has managed to pull her G-tube out. So I'm going to do this. Looks interesting, but I'm really not. Yuck. That didn't work because I'm rushed now. But I gotta go and put Addison's G-tube back in her stomach. Y'all have a great day. Bye.